Hi friends, I welcome you all at Crack Grade B. In June 2021, Kurukshetra magazine, there are various important topics based upon the agriculture which can be important for your NABARD grade exam. So in this video, we are going to cover agriculture and rural development part of your Kurukshetra June 2021 magazine. Friends, this magazine was based upon sustainable and inclusive rural growth. So I have chosen various topics which can be related to agriculture and its current affairs topic. Before moving ahead, I would like to inform you that we are preparing NABARD grade A course and we are providing this course rupees 2499 rupees only. We are covering economic and social issues, agriculture and rural development, static part, government schemes from various ministries, ESI current affairs including PIB websites and all the reports indexes from national as well international organization. We are covering agriculture statistics from official website and we are also covering our RBI and NABARD website circulars, reports and notifications. Along with this course, along with this topic, we are also providing 5 ESI and ARD based mock tests for phase 1 and phase 2 respectively. For purchasing our course, you can visit our website, that is www.crackgradeb.com, and you can subscribe and purchase our course from our website crackgradeb.com. Friends, the first topic which was in news, which was in this magazine of Kurukshetra magazine June 2021. In this topic, drivers of inclusive rural growth, the government, the author has given some important insight, some important highlights related to rural growth, and they have highlighted some importance of agriculture sector which can be a driver of our national economy as well as our rural growth. So according to this topic, India is the 5th largest economy of the world, having net worth of $2.94 trillion. But the government has set a goal to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. We all know that the government is trying to become $5 trillion economy by 2025. So what is the sector-wise growth? Which sector is contributing how much amount to achieving this $5 trillion economy by 2025? You can see here that $1 trillion is coming from the agriculture sector, the $3 trillion is coming from the service sector, and the $1 trillion is coming from the manufacturing sector. So service sector has the highest portion, highest coverage in this $5 trillion economy, but $1 trillion economy is coming from the agriculture. So what government is doing for achieving this target of $1 trillion? Actually, the rural economy of India generates about half of the national income and more than 2/3 of the employment. So you can say that this agriculture or rural economy is contributing how much? Half of the national economy and the 2/3 of the employment generation. So it has a vast potential for inclusive growth in the rural area. What government is anticipating? Actually, government is anticipating the sector will grow to rupees 88.2 lakh crore by 2023 at a CAGR of 12.2%. What can be the drivers for this rural growth? Expected growth in agriculture shall be stimulated with the demand of processing, service, packaging, transportation, for finance, retail and other services. So if you want to contribute $3 trillion from service sector to this target of $5 trillion economy, you can say that this $1 trillion economy is the base to this service sector. Why? If you not provide any input, any raw material to this service sector like processing industry, packaging industry, transportation for finance. If you will not give any Kisan credit card scheme, if you will not give any financial support to FPO, then can you think this $3 trillion for service sector can be achieved? The answer will be no. So this agriculture sector has the base to drive the economy because the most of the rural areas still depends upon this agriculture sector. If government wants to give inclusive growth to the rural area, then what should be the target of the government? Actually, to give impetus, to give push to this rural economy, government is trying to double the farmers' income. And what are the initiatives taken by the government to double the farmers' income? I am going to discuss with their output in this slide. Actually, government has introduced the e-NAM schemes. What is the benefit of this e-NAM? It has removed the barriers of licensing, movement and storage by providing online trading facility to farmers for a great number of farm commodities. What government has done in 2021 and 22 budget, government has further announced to integrate 1,000 of more mandis in the current union budget with this e-NAM. Now what is the progress? Actually, you can expect any question from this progress. So please memorize these facts which I am going to discuss. The first, over 1,000 major wholesale agriculture market APMC across 18 states and 3 UTs have been integrated. e-NAM to develop the concept of one nation, one market for agriculture produce. Now there are some outputs. 1.69 crore farmers and 1.5 lakhs traders are trading on the platform as a registered users. Total trade volume of 4.13 crore of metric ton of bulk commodities and 3.6 crore number of coconut and bamboo worth approximately of rupees 1.22 lakh crore has been recorded on e-NAM platform. So this is the major achievement since its launch. Since government has launched e-NAM scheme, these are the major achievements. So by taking this data into consideration, government has announced the further integration of 1,000 more mandis to this e-NAM platform in this current union budget 2021 and 22. Now, the farmers producer organization, what they do to enhance economic strength and market linkages. Actually, formation and promotion of 10,000 new FPO has been announced with a budgetary support provision of 6,865 crore. In this budget of 20122, government has announced the more farmers producer promotion organization, new FP, and the government is giving budgetary supports of 6,865 crore. What actually this FPO will do? FPO will provide a financial assistance up to rupees 80 lakh crore per FPO for a period of 3 years. e-NAM, there are some more initiatives taken by the government. e-NAM has introduced warehouse-based trading module that allows trading based on the electronic negotiable warehouse receipt. So this is also an initiative taken by the government for doubling farmers' income. Agri Market Infrastructure Fund is also introduced by the government. A corpus of rupees 2,000 crore for development and upgradation of marketing infrastructure at 10,000 Grameen Agriculture Market and 585 APMC in 2019. It is the corpus for Agri Market Infrastructure Fund. Why? Friends, tell me here, what is the role of this FPO? We know that in India there are more number of marginalized farmers, small farmers. They consist they contribute their contribution in national GDP, but because of their marginalized in nature, they are small in nature, their output is not up to the mark. So this FPO is very useful for these marginalized and small farmers, and they can be utilized the government schemes, government input, if they covered by these farmers producer organizations. So more benefit is taken by this marginalized and small farmers. Now there are some more initiative taken by the government to boost this rural economy. The government has introduced a agriculture export policy aims to double export by 2022, and they are expecting to reach 7.4 lakh crore in next few years. Government has also given a national policy on electronics, promote incentives that encourage rural development and increase rural employment. The Kisan Credit Card Scheme, well-known scheme, has eased institutionalized credit facility to farmers, fishermen and livestock owners, directly enhance cash flow in rural market. Recently, government has given 40,000 crore of stimulus package to Manregas for enhancing work opportunities in rural areas. DDU GKY is skilling and transforming rural youth into economically relevant force. The Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan launched in 100 districts of 6 states at a cost of rupees 50,000 crore to tackle the reverse migration to their villages, and they are also providing strengthening all-weather road connectivity to unconnected villages under Prime Minister Gram Sadak Yojana. What government is doing for this industrial development in agriculture in rural area? Actually, you should know the food processing industry engage around 1.93 million people and nearly 40,000 registered units with a fixed capital of 32.75 billion US dollar. And what are the aggregate output of around? What are the aggregate output of these food processing industry? It is 160 billion US dollar. So it is covering a major area and it is contributing lots of things to our national GDP. But what government is doing to industrialize and to give push, to give impetus to this food processing industry? The well-known scheme government has launched to give push to this food processing industry is PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. What is the objective of this scheme? This is scheme for agro-marine processing and development of agro-processing cluster. It was launched in 2017 with the initial corpus of 6,000 crore. What this scheme is doing? This scheme is supporting creation of mega food parks and agro-processing cluster by providing plug and play facility. Important. They are also providing post-harvest losses of horticulture and non-horticulture produce at farm gate location. They are providing financial assistance to setting up a integrated cold chain from the farm gate to the consumer. What government is doing, what government has sanctioned till now for this food processing sector? There are 37 food parks across the country for funding, of which 21 are in operational and 16 are under implementation. These are the food parks which give a push to our food processing industry. 134 food processing projects during 2021 across different states government has sanctioned, out of which there are 21 agro-processing units supported by backward and forward linkage and food testing laboratories. The government has newly sanctioned projects are expected to leverage private investment up to 2026.32 crore. And most important, they are providing employment to the 77,000 persons with the development of this food processing industry. So government is thinking to develop this food processing industry by taking investment from private sector and giving 77,000 persons employment to the persons. Now, what more government is doing? Government has trying to give one district, one product scheme. Under this scheme, it is designated to promote a value chain infrastructure development for the specialized indigenous product, food or otherwise a district. What is the progress of this one district, one nation product? 135 district is specified unique product for 728 districts have been identified across the country for support and promotion. What this one district, one product will do? It will reduce the effort of wastage, proper assaying and storage and marketing. So this scheme is also helping in our agriculture sector. Now there are some initiative taken by the government for the development of the micro, small and medium enterprises. First of all, you should know what is the importance of this MSME sector. Actually, this contribute 30% in the national GDP, contribute about 40% in the overall export and employ nearly 110 millions of people. So this is the importance of our MSME sector. And government has recently taken some initiative, like they have revised the norms. Now, as per the new revised norms, the micro units will be known as the company with investment up to 1 crore rupees, and they have the turnover below 5 crore rupees. They will be known as the micro units. Under this small unit, company with investment up to rupees 10 crore and turnover of below 50 crore is known as the small unit. And under this medium unit, company with investment up to rupees 50 crore and turnover of the below rupees 250 crore is known as the medium units. So these are the revised norms taken for the MSMEs. Moreover, they have launched a Udyam registration. Then what is the benefit of this Udyam registration? If any MSME is registered under this portal, under this Udyam registration, then they are able to get some benefit, like in case of micro and small enterprises, the payment of invoice is assured within 45 days. Otherwise, buyer is liable to pay compound interest. Moreover, government departments and public sector companies are mandated to procure 25% of the requirement from this registered MSMEs. If any MSME is registered under this Udyam registration, then they are able to get this benefit. If any MSME registered, they get benefit of scheme related to collateral guarantee free loan, interest subvention scheme, and a scheme for market support and export promotion, and concession in the electricity bill is provided to this registered MSME which is registered under this Udyam registration. Now, there are some more initiatives taken by the government to increase credit flow, and emergency credit line is introduced where special loans are sanctioned under this MSME by bank, financial institution without additional guarantee. It is a big initiative. In order to assist promoter during ongoing pandemic, a subordinate debt scheme is launched that provide a debt facility up to 15% of the promoter contribution or 75 lakhs of rupees, whichever is lower. Government has also launched fund of fund schemes. Under this scheme, a corpus of rupees 10,000 crore for providing financial relief and funding to MSME with growth potential and viability. Government has also launched a Champions portal in June 2020. Why? For making the smaller units big by helping and hand-holding them. What is the current progress? The government has provided a center room in New Delhi and 68 state-level control rooms that have been created, which have been providing every possible support on local level to MSME in the relevant area like finance, market access, raw material, permission, technology upgradation, skill development, etc. Public and private sector bank and some of the key financial institutions are on board to address the queries related to the credit and fast track manner. So these are the benefits of the Champions portal which government has launched in June 2020. Now there are some contribution of rural youth and women in agriculture which I am going to discuss. First of all, we know that our country is an agrarian country. Under this, 65% population live in rural area still, and 54.6% of the total workforce in the country is engaged in agriculture. This is a fact, this is a data you should remember. Moreover, approximately 17.8% of the country's gross value added for the year comes from this agriculture sector. Now, what is the role of the women in agriculture sector? Actually, in rural area, as per the ILO has estimated that 93% of the workforce of the young women and men engage in informal sector like agriculture. Under this animal husbandry, in animal husbandry, women have played a multiple role. They are regionally different, like women take care of animal raising, fodder collection, cleaning of animal sheds, to processing milk and livestock products. In livestock management, 90% of indoor jobs like milking, feeding, cleaning are done by the women. This is the importance of the women in the animal husbandry sector. Under the allied sector, sericulture, handloom, textile industry, rural economy, especially in northern eastern region, has huge potential for women employment generation. So this is the importance of the agriculture sector and the role of the women in agriculture sector. Now, what is the role of the youth in the rural agriculture sector? Youth play a very important role. Why? Because the youth in rural growth, role of the youth in agriculture sector is because they are doing some occupation like production, utilization of science, technology, cropping, irrigation, and many other more functions. Because we all know that still we are dependent upon the old farming technique. So the young mind of the rural can play a different role in this agriculture sector. How? Because they can play a role in extensive research, in production, utilization of science and technology, cropping, irrigation, in each and every area of agriculture. So, with the help of this new technology, agriculture sector can grow and we can help in doubling farmers' income, which is the target of the government by 2022. So friends, this was all from my side today. I will come up with more videos based upon the important highlights from this Kurukshetra magazine June 2021. Because this is a part 1, I will upload the next video in my upcoming lecture with part 2. So till then, thank you and happy learning.